Hey everybody, my name is Paul and welcome back to the live stream cello lesson. So today we're gonna finish up looking at the Bach Suite No.3 and it's gonna be the last movement, Gigue. So let's take a look at the sheet music. And this movement, I would say, is probably the more exciting one of the entire suite. Let's quickly take a look at it, and I'll give you the fingerings and the phrase markings, and as we go along, I'll talk about all the different musical stuff that I'm thinking about, right? Alright, so let us start from the beginning, right here. And we're gonna put yellow. So, pretty straightforward in the beginning. So it's gonna be first position here. So up. And then down to first position on the G string. And then here we're gonna do down, up, double up. That. Like that. And then we'll be doing stretch here. So that's gonna be first position, right? Open. Then shift down to second position. Or we're gonna shift down to C natural, but we're gonna open up extension. That way we're doing that, right? Extension, and then E with the fourth finger. So we're just playing that. So, one. And then second finger here. On the D, 2, 1, shift down to 1. Like that. So, here, 2, 1. And then we're gonna shift down to 1 again, 3, 4. And then first position. Until there. Alright. That's a pretty hefty phrase, I would say. So, I would argue that the phrase goes until there, right? So, let's quickly take a look. Once again, slowly, right? The yellow phrase. So, starting in first position. And then double up over here. And then shift down half step. Open up. And then 2, 1, 1. Third position. There. And then shift down to first position. And then. I think until there. Doing it slowly is pretty straightforward, I think. Once you start adding speed, that's when it gets difficult, right? Something to be aware is this section. Try not to squeeze your thumb, right? Tune your G with open G, and then your C is going to be perfect fourth above. And your bow is simply, you're gonna scoop it down. Well, I don't know if it's scoop is the right word, but you're gonna push your pinky down in order to get to the D string, right? Alright, so that's gonna be the yellow phrase. Something to also think about, try not to kick the last up bows. So all those. When you're going back towards the frog, try not to kick it too hard that it jumps in the sound, right? Remember that the accent is still on the ones, right? So da dun dun da dun dun da 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 dun da dun dun da, right? Not dun da dun dun dun, not that. So be careful of the volume. Be careful of the bowing. How the natural bow length and speed is going to affect the volume, right? All right, so that's gonna be yellow. Now let us go move on. And here is where I think I've mentioned this previously in the other classes. Bach usually likes to do sequences, right? So he takes a certain phrase and then he either goes up or goes down stepwise, right? So here you'll see what I mean. So first, so we stay in position, right? Light blue section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 on the E. So right, and then I like to do 4, 2, 2, 1. There. And then here is just a scale up. So that is going to be one sequence, that entire thing. One, and then we're also going to be barring this. Right, so here, we stay in first position except here, 4, 2, 2, 1. Try and tune the fifth here really well. Right, so that's gonna be 1. And then the next sequence is going to be this, starting from C. And here, that last scale, we're gonna do open G, open first finger A, and then first finger B. So 1, 1. Like that. So here, the fingering is very straightforward, right? Everything's going to be first position. Except for the last scale. Ba-da-da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-da-da-dun. 감사합니다. Good morning, Dad. How are you? Da-da-da-da-da-dun. So that's going to be phrase sequence number 2 until there. So, like so. sequence number 2, right? So, number 1. Sorry. Sequence number 2. Right? And then the last sequence. And that should go to, right? Something like that. But instead it does, right? So the last sequence, it kind of breaks away. So the last sequence goes until there. And it's the same thing. Everything's going to be in first position until the last bit, right? So here, shift to second position, and then shift to first position, like that. So that's gonna be the light blue section, fingering wise, right? As well as the sequencing. The sequencing is going to be divided into those 3 different parts. 1, that's gonna be 1. Second is going to be, right? And then the last one is going to be, right? So that is going to be the sequence of those 3 sections. But there's more happening in this section than what you're actually simply just seeing, right? You may be hearing it right now because I'm kind of accentuating it that way. But so we've talked about how the cello suites are essentially 4-part counterpoint voice, 4-part harmony played by a monophonic instrument, right? So you can think of it, how I like to imagine this section is like this. So you have this little voice, right? And then you have the soprano voice going like in response. So you have, let's say, alto. And then soprano goes, and then the bass goes, right? So those are 3 different voices happening, right? So there are various ways you can make that happen. What I like to do is kind of do, and this is simply a suggestion, a recommendation, or how I do it. You don't necessarily have to follow this. But for example, if we're going to treat it as middle, top, and bottom voice, right? So middle voice being that, right? Top voice, bottom being that, right? So I tend to play the middle voice kind of mezzo, forte, normal. And then the top voice slightly lower, right? Slightly softer, and then the bass a lot heavier. Right? And then that sets you up for the next one. Soft, heavy, right? So try experimenting with putting different dynamics for different voicings, right? You don't have to follow that way. You can try, let's try soft for the middle voice, loud for the top voice, and then soft and, normal for the middle voice, loud for the top voice, and then soft for the low voice. So let's try that. So kind of like the opposite, right? So this is just an experiment, right? See how it sounds differently. There are certain ways, and certain interpretation that you might like better, right? So this is normal, and then loud for top, and then soft for bottom. Loud, soft. Right? Or you can try loud, middle, and then soft like that, right? Right? Just try and make a different contrasting sounds to it. I'm gonna stick with my idea of medium, soft, and then low. Or medium for the middle voice, soft for the top voice, and loud for the low voice. So you don't have to follow that, but try to explore the different voicings, right? How it's happening. And try and keep it consistent for that whole entire sequence, that light blue section, right? So the light blue will sound like this. Soft. Alright, now let's go to the next section, which is going to be the wrist. This section is a little bit tricky for the bow for some reason. So if we take a look at just the fingerings, so we're going to be playing double stops, essentially, right? Let's do this. So you're going to be playing this section with open D. And then you're simply going to be doing rocking back and forth, right? So but if that's giving you trouble right now, just do double stop. Play both the notes and the open string at the same time. Remember to raise your elbow up slightly in order to be able to curve your fingers and not hit the open D string. And then if we go here, right? So that's one section. That's with the open D. And then the next section is going to be with the open G. Like so. So starting from the F and open G. Here we're gonna go 1, 1, 2. 1 for F sharp. And then 1, 2, 4 here. 1, 2, 4. And then 2, 1. 1. Here I separate the last two. That way we're going up and then 1, 1 and 1. Hey, Mary Beth, how's it going? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están todos? Gracias por sintonizar. Yeah, so here, try to do double stops first. 1, 1. Remember the 2. First finger. And then here, first finger on the G as the open D. We're gonna play both. Unisono. Unison. Alright, so note-wise, it's not too difficult, right? So doing it double stop is not hard. What's hard is going to be when you do it as written. So do it slowly, right? Remember to use your fingers, both fingers. So first try it slowly. That's gonna be done slowly. Try to make both the notes even, right? So one way you can do that is putting uneven rhythm in the bowing. So in the notes and bowings, right? So first try long, short, right? Sorry. So try and keep that rhythm as straight as possible. The long, short. And then try to do the opposite. The short, long, right? And while you're doing this, try and accent the changing notes a little bit. So lighten up on the open strings, right? So once you do both the ways, both the short long and the long short, your bow hand is going to start getting used to compensating for all the trying to make it as even as possible, right? And it's important to do the accenting, the changing notes a little bit. It helps with the clarity of the notes, right? Because this goes quite fast, right? Right? So try to give those accents a little bit on the changing notes. That's gonna help. Another thing is try not to go too far down into the middle, because at the speed that you're going, and also because you're staying with open string on one and changing to different notes, the strings are going to want to speak or want to catch the bow at different speeds. It just kind of makes it a little bit more consistent in both parts if you're closer to the fingerboard. So try not to go too far ahead when you're climbing up the fingerboard with the left hand, right? Right? So those are the notes that I would give you here. Practice slowly. Don't practice like how I am right now. practice slowly. Observe what your arm and your fingers are doing with the bow hand, right? All right. So the last bit of the first half is going to be this section. And this is probably one of my favorite parts. It sounds really cool. So, fingering wise, fairly straightforward. We're gonna go open. So, C natural, right? D, E flat. So, and then 1, 1. 1 for B flat. And then shift down to 4th position. So that's going to be the fingering for that section, right? So 1, 1, 1, open, 3, F sharp, right? And then same thing here. Dun 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 dun. Same thing on this one. C sharp. Right? So that section is really intense and really dissonant on purpose. So try and play it loud. It's like rock and roll, this section, right? So try to play it with a lot of gusto, just be brash almost, right? And then this next section is a little bit tricky, but I think if you follow how I phrase it, you'll be fine. Here, I am doing 3 slurred and then 3 separate. Like so. Right? Alright, so the last green phrase, right? So, dot. Short, short, long, or short, short, eighth, eighth. Right? And then here, 4, 1, open. Like that. Let's slur these 3. 4, 1, open. 4, open, 3. Alright, so. Shift down to 2nd position. Here it's how it's written. Like that. All right. Once again, the last green section. How I recommend is playing double stops, right? So especially in the 16th note bits, like that. Especially those. This one is all separate, right? This one is a bit different. So this one is tricky because if you're able to do that and then play 4 and 2 as a double stop at the same time, that's basically how when you're playing as double stops, your fingers, what's happening is you're allowing the notes to be set in place already, so the bow, all the bow has to do is just kind of just go over it, right? That's very difficult. When you play it slowly, it's very much possible, right? And do practice it slowly like that, right? Practice all the different string crossing. Whenever there's string crossing happening, try to play double stop prior to it. Right? The reason why you want to do that is when you're playing it faster, the notes will catch in time on the bow, right? Right? Your bow is going to be moving quite fast. So try to practice the double stops. Double stop string crossing. I guess that's the easiest way to explain that, right? This one is pretty straightforward in terms of what's going on, the green phrase, right? The green phrase is just like the last coda. So, it sounds like this. Try and go slowly when you're first learning everything, right? So that's going to be the first half. Let me play it a little bit under tempo, a little bit faster than what I played maybe. And let me play through the whole first half all together. Try to remember all the different things that I've talked about in terms of the phrasing and different putting contrasting musicality for all the different voicings, right? So I'll try and make it as obvious as possible for those. And let's just try and play through the first half. Alright. Slightly under tempo. Daga, 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 dana, da, da, da. Dum, bum, ba, dee, dee. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and. Alright. Normally you would repeat, right? I do the first repeat at least. The second repeat, not so much. And you'll see why. Alright, so that's going to be the first half of the Gigue. Now, let's take a look at the second half. So the second half, let's start with orange. So the second half is going to be slightly different. So here we're gonna start from the D string. And this is simply a descending melodic thirds, right? Alright, so descending thirds. So first finger on the B, third position, third position, you're gonna have your second finger on the A, right? Tune with the open A. First finger on the G, and then shift down to first position. However, for me, this part always confused me rhythmically, right? But what made sense to me was when I just kind of made it a little bit more simple. Instead of doing the melodic thirds, I just kind of I only accent the first notes of the figures, right? Except for the first two. Right? Right? So, try to feel that, because that's really what the main melody of the beginning of the second section is, right? Right? So, instead of focusing on each of the individual notes, the second notes of each of the thirds can really be thrown away. I mean, it's obviously supposed to be played, right? But if you kind of just leave it, kind of lightly let it flow away, it's not gonna affect the phrasing at all, right? And then here, that is quite a bit of a jump, but try and use your elbow as well as your finger, right? Here, extension, F extension, right? And then down like that. Go down, and then here, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1. One, 1, 2, 1, until here. So that's gonna be our orange phrase. So right? Shift down to G sharp. And then 3, shift to G sharp. And back down to first position with trill. So that's gonna be the beginning of the second half. And this is basically a key change into the minor section. Right? And then we go into the minor section now. Right? And here, we have the same sequence idea as before. Right? All right. So we have this sequence again. Except now it's going to be all. It sounds completely different, right? And then here, that B flat is going to be with the third finger. So you can find it by finding the A with the second finger. And then that D will be with the second finger, right? And then go down to fourth position, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3. One, 0, 1, 2, 4, 2. So that will be shift down 3, then F on the C string, 4 on the C, and then shift down to 2 like that. So those are going to be our 2 sequence for now. next sequence. And then the next sequence will be this. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. Like that. F natural, shift to third position, right? And then stay there. Stay there. Right there. So, and here, stay in position 4, 3, 4, 2. And here we're going to do 3 slurred and 3 separated. Like that. So open 1 and extension here. One, 4, open. Right? Extension. That one's hard fast. But it's on the bowing. Being able to be flexible like that. Like that. And that's gonna be the end of the red section right here. So the red section is basically all that sequencing that we had before in the very beginning, right? Right, all that. Except this one's in minor, right? There it's going to be 1, 1. Sorry, I forgot the fingering. 0, 1, 1, 2. Like that. Right? And then B flat. And then down. Stay in position. Right? Alright, so that's going to be the red section. Now let's move on to, let's do dark blue. And here, we're trying to return to our home key, right? So, this one is a little bit difficult. Alright, let's quickly take a look at this section. So, the hard part about this is going to be this as well as this, okay? So this is how it sounds like. Right? So it goes goes by very quickly. However, you need to be very... Right? So I will practice that. Keep the second finger on the C. And do that. Just go back and forth between F sharp and E, right? Right? You're gonna start feeling a little bit of strain in between the fingers. Once you do, just stop, right? Go work on something else, right? We're trying to build strength and agility within your fingers, right? So that's gonna be the first section. The second one is going to with 1, 4, and then 1, 3. So try and tune the 1, 3. Try and tune the fourth with the open G. That one's a little bit tricky. So if you need to do separately, like that, do so. And then double. Right? So another thing you can do is 3, 2, 3, and 4, right? With first finger on the A string. So that's going to be the key to playing this section really nice. Right? So I would say try and work on this transition especially. Right? So that's how you practice that section. Let's move on. And here we're going to do 3 slurred and then separate. 1, 2, 1. Same thing here. 3 slurred, 3 separate. Three slurred, 3 separate. Same thing, 3 slurred, 3 separate. Four, 2, 1. Open. 2, 1, 4, 4. Right. Alright, so this section goes like this. So first position E, F, shift down. Like that. And then the next bar, 77. Shift down to first position. And then 1. Right? And then here, same thing. Everything's written out. Here. So everything here is straightforward, right? As far as the fingering goes. So, try to minimize the up and down movement of the fingers, of the left hand fingers, right? That way, you can move it fast and with accuracy. So the hard part here is going to be this. And then right? And then we come back to this section. Right? So this part is going to be the same thing as the other spot, right? However, let me mark the different parts where it changes a little bit, right? You know what? Let's just turn this section into a different color. Let's turn this section into... Oh, I don't know. What color is it before? Purple. Alright, so let's go with purple, right? Let's go with dark purple. So, same thing here. And then here, it wants to... So, practice like that. Right? That open G is only going to stay there for temporarily, right? Very important there to be distinguishing the top notes there. Like that, right? And here, try and practice the double stops once again, right? Here it's going to be 1-1. Like that. We are going to slur this one, the second one, no. Alright. And then the last bit is going to be the same thing as the other one. But we're just gonna play one string lower, right? So the dark purple section, once again, same thing. Practice double stops first, right? Practice it with uneven rhythm, right? Right, and then the other way. Right? And then eventually you'll get and then right back to the green section. Here, same thing. here is different. Right? So, green section, same idea as the first half. So I'm not gonna write much down. So let's go until there. Here we are going to slur the G to the chord. And then we're gonna play these three up. Like that. And then the bowing will be all in first position, right? These will be slurred. That. All right, so same thing here, right? Go down the scale. F. So here, the notes are going to be the same. The only thing I would be concerned about here is the string change into the A string. Because since you're playing on the open A string, you have the tendency to play really loud for the speed that you're playing, right? So try and keep it very light when you play that open A. As well as here. Here, try to land that 4 and 2 at the same time. Here, yeah, that. That's the key. That 1 and then 4 2. Same thing here. So practice that 1 2 4. Whenever that comes up, right? So that would be here, down, 1 4 2, right? One 4 2 1 1 3. So this guy, this guy, this guy, I would say this guy as well, right? So all of those would be places where you do first finger and then pinky, second finger. So practice open or first finger only and then dropping 4 and 2 at the same time. And try and get that in tune. Right? That's one here. Down, bottom. So all those green spots that I circled, try and do the snappy double stop fingering thingy, right? That's gonna help with the string crossing and things like that. So right? So I think I deleted a little bit too many things. It's okay. Alright. So that's going to be the last green section, right? Right? So, the second half is it's not too tricky. If you practice the first half, and kind of figure out the phrasing and the articulation there. In the second half, it's a matter of just changing the harmony, right? So, one thing that needs to be focused in this movement is that articulation in the beginning, right? That sound. Because we're going quite fast, so if we don't have that initial kick to each of the notes, you're gonna have a hard time listening to the notes, hard time having clarity for all the different notes, right? For now, since we went through the second half, let me go through the second half slightly under tempo. And I think that will be it for the live stream today. Let me just go ahead and play through the second half, starting from the orange section here. Let me play the chord, the arpeggio before. So 1, 2, 3, and da. Second half. So I feel like I'm still going fast for learning purposes. But I hope that shows you what the Gigue is about. Try not to play as heavy as I am right now. The speed is going to be, what's going to be really exciting about this piece, right? So if you're playing very heavy, you're going to end up kind of dragging behind, right? So, less bow, right? Closer to the fingerboard to have a lighter, airier sound, right? So, Um, try to be very virtuosic, right? Obviously play slowly and play in rhythm first. But eventually you're going to play quite fast. So yeah. I think that's all the notes I have for this piece. And all the different phrasing musical decisions I like to do. Like how to put different importance in the musical voicings, right? So that will be it for this movement. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I'll get back to it as soon as possible. And yeah. So that is going to be it for suite number 3. Yay! Congratulations, everyone, for making it this far. Bach number 3 is probably one of the more important repertoires. So I have, and moving on, for next classes, I have quite a bit of requests for, the second suite, right? Suite number 2 in D minor. So let's start looking at that as our Bach series, the next Bach series. And as far as the pieces go, I have some couple of etudes that I wanted to work on for those that are in the intermediate level, like the Suzuki level 3 level. I wanted to give a bit more repertoire to help you guys advance faster and more things to work on, right, than just the Suzuki books. So keep a lookout for those videos and those live streams coming up. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and happy practicing. Bye.